Hey guys, before this video starts, I want to take a quick second to remind you all to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as that's the best way to help us grow. I appreciate all the support and hope you enjoy the video. Hey guys, it's Remy. In today's commentary, I want to sort of talk about something that I get asked a lot, and I think a lot of people get asked a lot in Brawlhalla, and that's how do I improve, right? How do I get better from where I am? And there's a bunch of stuff like, oh, not top, but like 10 tips and tricks to help you improve at Brawlhalla and stuff like that, but that's not always that useful per se, right? So I want to talk about like ways that actually probably will help you get better, and yeah, so I think the first thing to look at when you ask yourself how do I get better and where do you, is where do you want to be and where are you right now, right? And that's sort of like, okay, you want to get better, and what is better to you? What do you want to be able to do, right? You want to get the set of skills you need, and where do you want those skills to take you? Like, even I still say I want to get better, right? Because even just like placing however in a tournament, if it's not first, you can still get better. So it's still always there. There's always, oh, I can do better than this, and that's realistically what most people are looking for or asking about when they say I want to get better, right? So for you to say I want to get better, you have to ask yourself where you are right now and how much better you want to get, right? Or if you want to just keep improving. A lot of people that ask, how do I get better, how do I improve, have usually hit a wall at some point, like whether it's like high, mid diamond, or even plat, and you've hit that wall and you feel like you can't do anything else. You realistically have to look at what you are doing, right? And that means you go into your game and you play it, and you don't just autopilot, because a lot of people, even though they feel like they're stuck and they want to get better, they're just like sitting there, they're playing the game, and it doesn't really matter. They're doing the same stuff every game, whether it's going to lose. They're not really changing anything up or trying anything new. They're not doing stuff that would probably help them win. They're just doing what they're doing and hoping that they win, and that's why they've hit a wall. Because realistically, if you're changing up what you're doing and trying new things, there's no way to hit a wall, because even if you're trying new things that are worse, you would be going down, right? You would never just be stuck, and a lot of people are just stuck. They're in the same elo, and they're queuing against the same people, but they want to improve, right? So how do you beat that? How do you stop that? Well, I mean, you just kind of simply do, right? Unironically though, it's like if you know that you're autopiloting, or that you're just playing with no end, you're just kind of playing and not actually looking at yourself, looking to improve, you're going to have to do that. You're gonna have to switch it up, right? Every time you play a game or do a session, don't just like mindlessly queue 30 games or however many games you want to play. Queue the games and then look at what is helping you win and what's helping you lose, right? Because not every game should be the same, and that's kind of like the most important thing, right? You can't just keep mindlessly playing, or else you'll hit that point where you're just like, oh, I won or I lost, and then you just stop there, right? You have to actually go in, and when you win, you have to check why you won. It's not just like, oh, I won this game, so I'm gonna stop now, right? You have to check why you won, and then be able to put that into more gameplay, right? Now, a lot of people also wonder, like, oh, how did you get better, or what are like tips you can give to get better? And if you, like I said, if you want to like look at top tips to get better or something like that, they're always gonna go do this, go in training room a bunch, practice. But honestly, it's just about wanting it and putting in just that minimal effort, right? It's like, because you can look at someone like me who doesn't really go into training mode that often, and probably didn't even look at his replays, because I don't really need to look at replays. I'm more like, okay, I still do what I'm telling you to do now. I go into every game and play the game, and halfway through the game or before the game or whatever, I'll look back at it and I'll say, oh, this is why I lost this stock, this is what happened here. I make sure I understand what's happening and why I'm losing or why I'm winning, and I try to fix that. If I'm not fixing it fast enough, that's what leads to a loss, right? Some people can't do this in game, they need to focus on what they're doing, So they just have to use their replays and they have to go next, right? But if you just continuously play without an end, without a goal, like, yeah, your goal is to get better, but you're not actually doing the necessary things to meet that goal, you're going to be stuck and you're going to stay stuck. So to answer the question, how do I get better, it's all about work ethic and what you are going to do to make sure you can get better. You have to notice why you're not getting better to get better, right? If you get sick, right, in real life, you can't get better if you don't know why you're sick. You just kind of sit there being sick. So you have to understand what's keeping you there and what's making you stuck. And that's probably the most important thing. That's where you start and get better, right? That's the first step. Understanding why you're stuck and how to fix it. Whether it's to stop doing a specific move like fishing for stuff, or you need to work on your KOs. There's something that you're doing that's making you lose a game, every game, right? And when you identify that, you can start moving to fix that. The next thing a lot of people need to learn is just in general being patient with themselves and with the game. And I don't know if doesn't apply to everyone, because not everyone gets upset, not everyone is like a player that really gets that emotional. And a lot of people are just playing casually and for fun. But if you are playing casually and for fun, then you're not asking how to get better. If you're asking how to get better, you probably care about where you're about to end up, and that's fine. Caring is good. The thing is that you care to a point where it's unhealthy for you, or it's just making you more upset than happy that you're playing the game, and you should never do that. Like, I personally will never play a game that I find upset, and I've never found Brawlhalla upset or seen Brawlhalla in a light where I'm like, oh, this is so frustrating, I don't want to play. And that's very important, because if you find Brawlhalla in a light where it's frustrating to play, you're not going to be able to do anything with yourself. You're just going to be, once again, stuck. Because why would you want to get better at something that's making you unhappy? And maybe it's making you unhappy that you're not getting better, but then you just never will get better. You'll stay in that stuck position where you're just frustrated, and your frustration is making you worse, but it's also why you being worse is why you're frustrated, right? It's like an endless circle. I'm upset, so I play bad, but playing bad makes me upset, and it just continues. So you have to be able to control your emotions and how you feel about the game going around, right? If you can't do that, then once again, it's just not going to work out for you. And that's why I say, that's why I call it patience with yourself, because you're not perfect and you're not going to be perfect even just off the bat. It's just all about how you treat your mentality and how you handle it. So but yeah, I don't know, someone like me, I guess I've done a really good job of not getting upset even when I'm losing or when I'm winning. The only time I can feel upset is when I think I deserve more than I worked for, and that never really is the case, right? Because if you deserved more, you would have gotten more. So that's how I like to look at a lot of things. I just personally never get upset with stuff. But yeah, that's like basically the brunt of it, the core of it. It's just knowing why you're losing, seeing what makes you win, right? Like, it's not just about losing. There are games you win even if you're stuck, and you have to see why you won that game and carry it on, right? And now it gets to a point where it's like actually just gameplay wise, right? And some people feel like they can't do any better gameplay wise, and it's like, okay, I'm playing Brawlhalla, but I'm just not good at it. And as dumb as that sounds, it's just like I can't do combos or stuff like that. I don't know when to use my options, when to dodge. I'm not aggressive enough and stuff like that. Once again, looking at your replays or just like thinking to yourself while you're playing. If you don't want to look at your replays, that's fine. Like I said, I don't. But you still have to think to yourself while you're playing, right? And which I do. I think to myself, why did I lose that stock so fast? Or why is this stock going so fast? What's happening right now? And I try to fix it in the moment. Because fixing in the moment is more important. Being able to adapt ASAP is a very useful skill to have. But yeah, so you look at it like that, and then you look at your replays and you go, I just can't hit these combos, I can't do this. And then that's where it gets to the point where it's like, okay, you need to just practice, because your mechanics are just flawed, right? You understand what's happening, you can see your mistakes, but you can't fix them. And that's where actual practice comes in. That's where it's no longer understand what you're doing wrong. You understand what you're doing wrong. Now you have to fix it, and that's how you improve. That's how you improve in everything, isn't it? Right? It's like, it sounds really simple to answer a question that gets asked so much. I'm stuck. How do I improve? That's how you do it. You see what you're doing wrong, and then you put in the actual effort to fix it if you need to. Right? Some people can see what they're doing wrong and they already know how to do it. Like if I tell someone you're not playing off stage enough, and they start playing off stage and they're good off stage, that's an instant fix, right? They go straight into it and they're doing well. But if I tell someone that they need to play off stage too much, or they see it themselves, right, and they go, yeah, I will, and then they're constantly killing themselves, or they're not able to play off stage, which is fine, because you're not going to get better if you don't try it, if you don't practice it, right? But if they keep doing it and they can't find it, then that's why they're stuck. And if you cannot fix your mechanics, then that's just another problem in itself, right? You have to ask another thing where it's like, why are my mechanics so bad? And it's not easy. It really isn't. But yeah, that's my answer to that question. How do I improve in Brawlhalla? And only you can help yourself improve, right? So someone like me, I've never felt like I was stuck because I've constantly done what I do to improve. I've constantly looked at what I'm doing and looked at where I think mistakes are and fixed them, right? That's how you're going to improve. Really, that really is it. There's nothing more to it. It's not like, yeah, go check your replays. That's always going to be better than not checking your replays. But it's not just like a hard question where it's really difficult to answer. You have to just understand that and take into account what you can do. So yeah, I'll try to read a lot of comments in this video and answer questions if you guys have any. So just go ahead and ask away, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.